The evolution of high-speed internet technologies increased consumption of video for work from home, learn from home and entertainment. And the growing proliferation of powerful yet affordable smartphones are driving an exponential growth in bandwidth on today's telecom networks. Wider adoption of multi-gigabit broadband connections by homes and businesses, wider usage of cloud-based services by enterprises, massive build-outs of web-scale data centers and the emergence of 5G networks are further accelerating this demand in the post-pandemic world. Tejas Networks, a global deep technology product company headquartered in India's Bengaluru, is enabling this data revolution. As a leading optical, broadband and data networking products company, our focus on technology and R&D has enabled us to power the broadband networks of telecommunications service providers, utilities, defense and government entities the world over. We design and develop cutting-edge optical and data networking equipment that are used to build high-capacity networks that carry voice, data and video traffic from fixed line, mobile and broadband networks over optical fiber. Our products are used by several marquee names in the global telecommunications industry for realizing flexible, high-speed broadband networks, future-proof mobile backhaul networks, scalable and cost-efficient metro DWDM networks, next-generation utility networks, and high-capacity optical backbone networks. We strongly believe in continually investing in R&D and innovation to support the latest standards and strengthen the competitiveness of our products. We own a large and growing pool of intellectual property in optical and wireless technologies. Our unique, programmable, software-defined hardware architecture enables flexible products that can be field upgraded to meet new standards and customer requirements while giving a significant time-to-market advantage. Tejas products have been successfully used in several important national and global telecom projects. Our pioneering packet transport products are being used in two of the world's largest 4G networks. We are a major supplier of GPON, XGS-PON products for BharatNet, the world's largest rural broadband program, and have been selected by two Tier 1 operators for their pan-India FTTX rollouts. Our carrier-grade next-generation XPON and carrier Ethernet products are powering one of the world's largest public Wi-Fi network rollouts. Our 4G LTE-based fixed wireless access products have been installed and commissioned in 3 continents. Recipient of many prestigious national and global industry awards, we have been recognized for our product innovation and business excellence in the field of optical networking. With a vision of transforming today's networks to meet the demands of tomorrow, Tejas Networks is future ready today.
Yeah, I'm not getting any sound.
Yeah, the sound is not coming from the welcome. It's okay. Yeah. Just to basically keep some, because people will come in, they don't know whether you're on or you're attending a meeting, so just put some figure to This is a video. Some part. No, after this, we just.
Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome all the members to this extraordinary general meeting of the Tejas. The meeting is being held through video conference in accordance with the circular issued by the Minister of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. For safety reasons, each one of us are in different location. Before we start the main proceedings of the meeting, I would like to introduce my colleagues. I am V. Balakrishnan. I am the chairman of the company. Let me allow the rest of the board members to introduce themselves. Desh. Mr. Bhave.
I am Chandrasekhar Bhave. I am an independent director on your company. I also chair the audit committee of the company. Thank you.
Leela.
I'm Leela Krishnamurthy Ponappa, independent director with Tejas, and I chair the NRC committee and the CSR committee.
Sanjay.
This is Sanjay Naik. I'm CEO and Managing Director of the company, and I'm calling from the boardroom of the company in Bangalore.
Arnab.
I'm Arnold Roy, the CEO of the company. I'm calling from the corporate office in Bangalore.
Gadia.
Yeah, I'm Venkatesh Gadiyar, attending this meeting from the registrar office of the company, Bangalore.
Ravi.
I'm Ravi Krishnan, Company Secretary from Bangalore.
Thank you, everyone. I confirm that the chairperson of the audit committee, Mr. Bhave, and chairperson of the stakeholders relation committee, Desh, are present for the meeting through video conferencing. I also confirm that the statutory auditors, Mr. Mohan from PwC, and internal auditor, Mr. Neeraj from Singh Dev Unni LLP, secretarial auditor, G. Dwaraknath, practicing company secretary, cost auditor Krishnamurthy GNV and Associates, are all present for the meeting through video conference. We have the requisite quorum present through video conference to conduct the proceedings of this meeting. Participation of members through video conference is being reckoned for the purpose of quorum as per the circulars issued by MCA and Section 103 of the Companies Act 2020. The quorum being present, I call the meeting to order. I now request Ravi Krishnan, Company Secretary, to provide general instruction to the members regarding participation in the meeting. Ravi?
Good evening, everyone. Members may note that this extraordinary general meeting is being held through video conference in accordance with the Companies Act 2013 and circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and SEBI. Facility for joining this meeting through video conference or other audiovisual means is made available for the members on a first-come, first-service basis. The company has also provided webcast facility to view the live proceedings of this extraordinary general meeting. The register of directors and key managerial personnel, the register of contracts or arrangements has been made available electronically for inspection by the members during the AGM. Members seeking to inspect such document can send the request to corporate@tejasnetworks.com. As the EGM is being held through video conference, the facility for appointment of proxies by the members is not applicable, and hence a proxy register for inspection is not available. The company has received requests from a few members to register themselves as speakers at the meeting. Accordingly, the floor will be open for these members to ask questions or express their views. The moderator will facilitate the session once the chairman opens the floor for questions and answers. It may be noted that the company reserves the right to limit the number of members asking questions depending upon the availability of time at the EGM. The company has provided the facility to cast the votes electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice. Members who have not cast their votes yet electronically and who are participating in this meeting will have an opportunity to cast their votes during the meeting through e-voting system provided by the NSDL. Members are requested to refer the instructions provided in the notice or appearing on the video conference page for seamless participation through video conference. In case members face any difficulty, they may reach out on the helpline numbers. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ravi. The company has taken all feasible efforts under the current circumstances to enable members to participate through video conference and vote at the EGM. I thank all the members, colleagues on the board, auditors, and management team for joining the meeting over video conference. I hope all of you are safe and are in good health. Now I request Sanjay Naik, CEO and Managing Director, to address the shareholders and give some context to the current EGM. Sanjay.
Thank you, Bala, and good evening, everybody. Welcome all shareholders to this meeting. I put together a few slides in terms of giving you the background of the EGM, which has already been sent to you as a part of the communication earlier. In terms of the background for why we are having this meeting today, if you really see, we started Tejas with a vision to create a top-tier global telecom and networking company from India. And we've had a very fruitful journey so far. Tejas 1.0 was the initial days of our company for the first 15, 16 years when we created world-class products. We really focused on R&D. We built a decent business. We got a lot of customers around the world, and we came to some size. Then we really hit the second phase of our journey, which I call Tejas 2.0, when we went public, the first deep tech company within India to go publicly listed. In addition, we won a lot more business in India. We grew internationally to more than 75 countries. We increased our product offering to include wireless as well as fiber products. We created a lot of IPR. And we really, I think, in a sense, created a very, very robust world-class platform which can have all aspects of a successful product company, from R&D to sales to supply chain to operations. We see that the opportunity that is available in front of your company is much larger. There's a whole new global capex cycle starting with 5G and all the fiber broadband rollouts. There's a very large addressable market around the world in India as well. The Atmanirbhar focus for the country and the opportunities in terms of all the talent available in the country is really unique. And given our business model and all the geopolitical factors, there's a fantastic opportunity for us to take our companies to much, much higher level than we have been able to do so far. That is what led us to our next, the reason to build a strategic partnership with the Tata Group. And we announced this partnership about a month and a half back, where we are taking all the advantages and all the capabilities of the Tejas platform that we have created so far. And on top of that, we are really building the global brand, leveraging the global brand of the Tata Group to be able to address tier 1 and all the large telcos around the world. We now have the balance sheet strength to really execute very large projects and large customer orders around the world. And really, as a global scale in global economies of scale in hardware manufacturing is something that we can achieve. So all these things together bring us a very, very fruitful partnership to be able to realize the full potential that we have in our company. The specifics of the offer in terms of what the Tatas are bringing to the table has already been shared before in terms of preferential allotment of 500 crores in the form of equity shares, and then 2 tranches in the form of warrant, one of 950 crores and the other of 400 crores. In addition, they have acquired secondary shares from some of the existing shareholders, and that's already been completed. And once all of this happens, we plan to use this additional funding available for 4 different purposes. Number 1, for expanding our product portfolio, both organically as well as inorganically, so that we can accelerate our product development and really address the time to market opportunities that are ahead of us. Investments in sales, marketing, and people, so that we can sell a lot more of the product that we have and will continue to create. Then, of course, have a much more stronger backend in terms of operations, manufacturing, supply chain, and of course, all the other general corporate purposes in terms of investments. So really, in summary, the Tejas and Tata partnership, I believe, is a win-win partnership for all the stakeholders. Post-transaction, we become a part of the leading business group of India with a global brand. We have a lot of balance sheet strength and probably one of the strongest in the entire industry. And we can leverage a lot of synergies that we can have with other group companies and really, in one sense, accelerate our mission for Atmanirbhar Bharat. And at the end, we can really find a way to accelerate and really make it much more possible to realize our vision, becoming a full stack, top tier, trusted global OEM in the shortest period of time from here on. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay. As a notice is already circulated to all the members, with the custom of members, I take the notice convening the meeting as read. Before we proceed, I am pleased to bring to a notice that as required under the Companies Act 2013, the company has provided you all the facility to cast your vote electronically on all resolutions set forth in the notice. Members who have not cast their vote electronically and who are participating in this meeting will have an opportunity to cast their votes through the e-voting system provided by NSDL. Members may please note that there will be no voting by show of hands. Further, members can seek clarifications or offer comments on items of business, if any. The results of the EGM resolutions shall be declared not later than 2 working days from the conclusion of the EGM of the company. We now take up the resolutions as set forth in the notice. I will open the floor for any questions by members after all the resolutions are tabled. Item number 1 of the notice, increase of authorized share capital of the company and alteration in the capital clause of the memorandum of association of the company. The proposal is to increase the authorized share capital of the company from existing 17.64 crore equity shares of rupees 10 each to 20 crore equity shares of rupees 10 each, ranking pari passu in all respect with the existing equity shares of the company as per the memorandum articles of association of the company. Item number 2 of the notice, issuance of equity shares and warrants on a private placement basis to Panatone Finvest Limited, a subsidiary of Tata Sons Private Limited. The proposal is to issue equity shares and warrants on a private placement basis to Panatone Finvest Limited. The text of the resolution, along with the explanatory statement, is provided in the notice circulated to members. Now I will request Ravi to address shareholders.
Dear shareholders, thank you for joining our EGM today and for taking time to participate in today's EGM. Before we go live with the question and answer session, here are some points to note for your convenience. Kindly turn on the video when you are projected on the broadcast screen. Kindly unmute yourself and proceed to ask questions. Please mention your name, folio number, and location from where you are joining. Each shareholder will have 2 minutes for their questions. To avoid repetition, the board will respond to all questions at the end. Now the floor is open for questions.
We request Mr. Naveen Bothra to proceed with his question.
Able to hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Good afternoon to Chairman Mr. Bala, Mr. Sanjay Naik, CEO and MD of our company, all the esteemed board members, and senior management team of Tejas. Myself, Naveen Bothra, attending the EGM from Delhi. I am associated with Tejas as a shareholder since 2018, and it's a great pleasure to attend the EGM of the company. At the outset, I congratulate the management team Tejas for becoming part of Salto Software conglomerate Tata. Tejas means determined and independent born leaders headed for success. So attraction of Tata's towards Tejas is not a surprise. We congratulate the management for this partnership. The decision to make the company a subsidiary of Tata Sons to leverage the opportunity in the upcoming 5G era and fiber-based rollout has been positively welcomed by the capital market, and our company's market cap has almost doubled in the last 1.5 months. I have some points which I request Chairman sir to kindly express his view. Please share the detailed vision on Tejas becoming a complete global telecom equipment company solution provider, just like of Nokia, Ericsson, Huawei, and Samsung. How, as we will be having complete financial and technological backing of Tata, since we will be having all these with the entry of Tata. And the second point is about the is there going to be any management change contemplated after the entry of completion of the investment by Tata Sons? If yes, at what point of time? Is there any proposal to change the name of the company to include the Tata's group, Tata's name, so that we can leverage the group's strength globally? Out of the total proceeds of roughly 1,850 crores rupees, we will be raising from preferential issue and warrants and all these things over a period of time. How much approximately allocation of funds to the heads of the various heads of the explanatory statement? If you can give just broad outline for the inorganic acquisition, approx this much and all these, if you can explain, that will be quite helpful to all the shareholders like us. Kindly share the status of our PLI application with the government and when we are going to be having some information from the government. I support all the resolutions wholeheartedly and have already voted in favor of all the resolutions. Wish Team Tejas all the very best in its new avatar, and we wish the partnership with Tata becomes 1 + 1 2, but going ahead it becomes 1 + 1 11. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. First of all, thank you for all the detailed questions, and I must say that very well thought out questions, because that would be, a lot of shareholders would want to ask the same questions. So number one question was the detailed vision in terms of how can we get much bigger. So clearly, as I mentioned in my presentation earlier, that so far in the earlier avatar, we had a very strong presence in the wireline segments of the business, which is on fiber, whether it is for transport or for the access, which is fiber to the home kind of things. And we had started to invest in the wireless journey as well to complete our portfolio. That wireless portion will get accelerated as a part of this. So we'll then have wireline plus wireless, which is pretty much the end-to-end product portfolio. So that is one part which we're going to be accelerating in terms of completing the portfolio. And once you have the product portfolio completed, there are two other elements which are needed to make it successful, because building products is one aspect, but making a business out of it is another. So one aspect is really creating a very strong global sales channel, leveraging the strengths of our partner Tata Group, because they have a lot of access to telecom operators around the world as well as other businesses. So we want to build a very strong sales engine so that whatever products we create can be sold effectively around the world using that sales channel, including, of course, in India. And on the other side, we have to have a very strong foundation in terms of operational, so that we are able to manufacture in much larger economies of scale than we've been able to do it in the past. So these two building blocks will come into place, and we'll, of course, be putting more technology focus. And once we are able to do all of this stuff, given our competitiveness that we have demonstrated in the past, we feel that we have a very good chance and opportunity to become one of the top tier global vendors that you outlined earlier. The second thing which you mentioned, is there any change in management contemplated? We do not believe so. In fact, one of the things is that the continuity of the management team and the strength of what we have built so far has been one of the reasons for the partnership. So I feel that we'll all be more empowered. We'll be able to get more management talent in the company, but continue to provide the leadership, and I don't see any changes happening there. Number three is that, is there a proposal to change the name? We clearly see that there's a lot of benefit and a brand value that gets enhanced by using the Tata name. And as we go forward, we will be discussing among our board internally, and definitely will make the right recommendation so that we are able to take full advantage of the brand power that the Tata name comes to us. The fourth one was the allocation for funds in terms of breakup among the four items that I mentioned. That is still work in progress. We will be looking at things opportunistically to make sure that decisions on inorganic things are made at the earliest when we see an opportunity coming. But at the same time, we will also still have the balance sheet strength to be able to take advantage of operational excellence and ease that we'll have to have. So I think those decisions about the exact allocation is something that we will continue to review and will share later. And then the last part was the PLI status application of our, rather the status of our PLI application. We believe that the government is in the final stages of evaluating and approving, and we hope to hear back from the government on the status within the next 7 to 10 days, from what I have heard. So hopefully that should again will be known soon, sooner than later. So I hope I've addressed all your questions.
If I may, just one more query. What role Tejas is going to play between the partnership of TCS and Airtel regarding their deal in 5G? Recently, Tata signed deal, TCS signed deal for 5G. So what role Tejas is going to play in this partnership of Airtel and TCS?
Yeah, we'll definitely be playing an important role. The details and the specifics at this stage have not been finalized, but given our product focus and given the technology strengths, I'm pretty sure that there will be a pretty important role that we'll play going forward as well.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So, okay, thank you. I think we answered all the questions. In case of any further questions, you can always email to us, and we are happy to answer them. We have 62 members participating today in this EGM. We are grateful to our shareholders who joined us today. The Board of Directors has appointed Dwaraknath C. Company Secretary in practice as a scrutinizer for the e-voting process. I hope all of you have gone and taken part in the polling. Further, I hereby authorize Ravi, Company Secretary, to declare the results of the voting and place the results on the website of the company at the earliest. The resolutions as set forth in the notice shall be deemed to be passed today, subject to the set of the requisite number of votes. Further, the combined results of remote e-voting and electronic voting during the EGM, along with the scrutinizer's report, shall be communicated to the stock exchanges. The results shall also be placed on the websites of the company and NSDL. All the items of today's EGM have now been transacted. Thank you all for attending this meeting. With this, I declare that the extraordinary general meeting has closed. Thank you.
Thank you.